Hello, all my little Pokemon. It's a really good. I'm feeling a little cheerful. Uh, I had a thought today, and today's thought is a bit adult. So if you're not really wanting to talk about this, I understand. You're free to stop watching. I'm not going to judge you for your lack of wanting to talk about this. But that's part of my problem and why I want to make this video. The fact that people don't want to talk about in public personal pleasure. I'm going to try and use as safe as words possible so YouTube doesn't, knock me down. This video will be talking about a somewhat more, as far as this country is concerned, adult subject, which, for some extent, I really don't think should be so much an adult subject. It should just be a subject. Because there's no reason to be shameful of bodily functions like this. If you're over the age of 12, you probably have had all your parts start doing most of what they're supposed to do. Whether it's you need to have monthly drainage sessions, or by now you figured out that your pants get really tight when you see that person you're really attracted to, or the bus vibrates the wrong way. So from then on, your hardware is in gear. So you should be adult enough to talk about personal enjoyment. Now, I don't feel like sexual things should be a thing you just brag about. No, I'm not saying we need to have sex be a talk of conquest. Like, I banged 50 girls this year. I'm the manliest man there ever banged. No, don't do that. But what you could do is talk about stuff that if you are personally active with another person, or with not, you're just yourself, with pleasuring sex, talk about stuff that the way that you personally enjoy something. Maybe you'll give someone else an idea of things to try. I know there's a lot of stuff I tried after I became an adult and moved away from where my family and stuff was because I was curious. And had I had more of a open hand from friends or whatever that knew about this sort of stuff, it would have made things a lot easier and a lot less expensive. Fortunately, due to the fact that we have this thing called the internet now, you can buy all sorts of weird stuff and have it shipped, like professional grade pom-poms. And these are not a sexual thing. These are just I bought them on the internet. But there's so many kinds of like insertable objects. If something like that entertains you, and you find other people who are just politely asking that also are entertained by insertable objects, either into your regular exhaust port, if you're a female, the other port, or for that matter, I know some males that are into that other port, getting things in there as well. I don't think you should feel too ashamed about talking about that stuff. Personally, I think pleasure should not be something we hide from. We talk about guns so much in this country. I'm not going to complain about guns. I own a couple of those things. I've been shooting guns since I was a kid. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania. I learned how to do this stuff. That's just kind of life. I don't carry a gun. I just own a couple in the closet. They're there. I've owned a gun since I was 12. I'm 39. I've had that thing for a while. The other one I got only about 8 years ago when Grandma died. But yeah, that's enough about those. That's not our subject today. Today's subject was fun stuff. Um, Now, again, uh, talk about things like even whether putting something in something feels good to you. Um, whether you have other parts of your body that you find actually entertain you. Maybe someone else never thought to, use contact other portions. Have you got interesting techniques that you like to use that make your entertainment value better? Do you have certain things you like to think about? Certain things that you like to use to touch yourself with? Or in any sense. I mean, that was just touching myself in general. That doesn't mean I did touch my personal spots. Do you like to put on sexy things while you're doing it? Do you like to watch videos? Like to look at certain kinds of art? That was actually at least becoming a little bit more open amongst the furry community because we save all these things on FA, and look at my FA. You could probably find a few things that I think are hot. Okay. Uh, and I go to other people's FA when they, go, oh, that's cool. I see your faves. Those are pretty nice. I'll fave some of those. And personally, I'm okay with that. I'm trying my best not to feel repressed in the sense. I know a lot of people get uncomfortable when you talk about anything relations-wise. And I'm not going to judge if you say, or gender pointy and you like gender open port, or you like gender pointy, or if you're open port, you like open port. If you like to be 3 people having fun at once with some miscellaneous combination, or 4 people. Whatever actually floats everyone's boats in together, and as long as all adults are consenting in the process, then it's okay. And a very important point to put in here, very important. If you are ever in the process of pleasure with another person, and for some reason, the other party is 100% not into something you're into, if something becomes uncomfortable for them, either physically, emotionally, etc., and they say stop, stop means stop. No means no. Make sure you follow that particular rule more than anything else. If there's another party involved, if you're solo and no one's around, as long as you're enjoying yourself and you're not hurting anybody or anything, cool. Or if you're only damaging things you specifically bought for the process of personal entertainment, cool. But technically, you're hurting that handful of tissues in the process. But you're intending to throw those away, so I hope you are. Honestly, if that's your kink too, whatever. I don't really to keep it. I'm gonna judge, but don't have it sitting out. That's kind of smelly, and no, your guests don't want to see that either. Uh, but yeah, as long as you clean up after yourself and you make yourself look somewhat presentable after you've done whatever you're gonna do, I don't see a problem with that. And don't do anything that makes anyone else uncomfortable in public. Again, if you're doing something to yourself and you're out in public, that could be a little no zone. Just because your kink is having fun in the freezer aisle at the Walmart, that's not okay. If you like to sit in your living room when no one else is home, and imagine you're at the freezer section of Walmart, I'd really like to see why you don't have a better imagination. But hey, as long as you're doing it in your private sector, it's not a big deal. Again, whatever turns you on, I'm not going to judge as long as you're not breaking any laws or hurting anyone else. As long as it's El Solo, you can imagine whatever you probably want. As long as you don't act on those imaginations if they are bad. I can definitely say there are a lot of things in my imagination list that cannot be in my reality list. Case in point, I get rather kind of claustrophobic reaction. I think is the best way to describe it. Whenever there's anything restricting my ability to breathe. So anything that's like covering my nose and mouth, more of a panic situation. Now, seeing an art form might not be so bad. Imagination variant, okay. Reality, not necessarily me. That's just one example of imagination over reality. And you gotta judge this stuff for yourself, where your imagination reality and your safetyness involved. Breath play being one of the more strict ones, because if you mess that up, well, that's the last time you're having fun. At least you went off with a bang. Really hope. I mean, if you don't, and that's when you died, that'd be the most depressing one. Yeah. So, I don't want to get into too many specifics about my personal interests here. I'm just opening this up for the concept. And I just said don't be ashamed, but I'm also putting this on YouTube, so I don't necessarily want to have everyone know absolutely everything about everything I like. If you really want to know, ask. And remember, if you're going to ask me, be prepared to answer yourself. It's no fun if only one person shares. And that's another big kick there. If you're busy sharing all your kinks, some of those asking, it's only fair if the other person does share back. I oftentimes get people ask me what my turn-ons are, and then they don't respond back with theirs. I'm like, well, that was mean. You know a lot about me, but I don't know much about you. That's play this game both ways. Double share. So, do you have any specific weird things that you'd like to talk about there? Feel free to leave in the comments. Again, I'm not judging. I definitely don't judge. Any kind of special things that you think the world needs to know about that you magically came up with? Go ahead, tell the world. Or do you feel really squeamish about people talking about this stuff, and you've actually listened to this video with an open mind, but you do feel uncomfortable with talking about this stuff in public? Please, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. It's a big thing. It's not an easy answer. My feelings aren't necessarily your feelings or everyone else's feelings. But it's one of those, it'd be interesting to hear other perspectives in this stuff. So, that's a long one here. I've babbled for a good bit. But, if you could, comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. A little dingy bell. Put a dingy bell, lets you know when I produce new videos, and it makes YouTube happy. I like when YouTube's happy. And Patreon link is in the description box below. But for now, Cheerful Mewtwo wants to thank you for spending your time with me and actually having this adult discussion with me. And I hope that you all have a very pleasurable rest of your evening. And I'll see you all again very soon.